Quantum number 2, or the second quantum number, is designated with an L. And you can see by number 1, it corresponds to sublevels of energy in the Bohr model of the atom. So again, we start with the principal quantum number. That is the most general. It refers to the row on the periodic table. So we have row 1, row 2, all the way down to row 7. But within each row, okay, there is a sublevel of energy. So again, within each energy level, there is a sublevel within that. It's like magnifying it a little bit so you can see it more detail. Now, if we got into the mathematics that the actual modern atomic theory uses, you can see by number 2 that the values of L range from 0 to n minus 1. Don't get all bent out of shape with that. This just works it out. We're not really going to focus on that. But what you can see is, here's the energy level. Okay? And what this basically means is if you use n minus 1, you get a 0. Meaning there's only one sublevel for energy level 1. Energy level 1 is row 1, hydrogen and helium. So that row can only have one sublevel. And that sublevel is called S. We'll see what that means in a minute. Energy level 2, if you put in the equation, has a 1 there. The value of L is 1. What that means now is that you can not only have the S sublevel, but there's also a second sublevel called P. So notice that the sublevel number matches the energy level number. So energy level 1, the most general, has one sublevel. Energy level 2, which again is lithium, I'm looking at my periodic table over here, lithium through neon, has 2 sublevels. Energy level 3, likewise, will have 3 sublevels, and that begins at sodium, goes all the way to argon. Energy level 4, which is potassium to krypton, would have 4 sublevels. Theoretically, energy level 5 should have 5 sublevels, but the theory is so complicated already, we stop at 4 in practice. So theoretically, the number of sublevels matches the actual energy level. So energy level 1 should have 1 sublevel. Energy level 2, 2 sublevels, which are called S and P. Energy level 3 has up to 3 sublevels, S, P, and now D. And then energy level 4 can have the 4 sublevels, S, P, D, and F. Energy level 5 theoretically should have 5 sublevels, but we only use these same 4, S, P, D, and F. Energy level 6 theoretically should have 6, but again, practically, we only use the 4. You say them. S, P, D, and F. Well, what do these sublevels mean? So this is this chart. The sublevels are based on their shape, okay? So the S sublevel is a sphere, and it's very sharp in terms of energy. The P sublevel is called the principal sublevel, and it looks like a dumbbell. I have some pictures I'm going to show you in a second. Energy level D, or sorry, sublevel D is the diffuse sublevel, which gets very complicated, and energy level that contains sublevel F is called the fundamental. Let's go down and see these. Okay. Here's the 1s sublevel. Okay, that would be for hydrogen and helium electrons. Okay, it's spherical shape. Notice it's 3-dimensional. You have the X, Y, and Z plane, so it's spherical. The second energy level would have a 2s sublevel, and it looks like this. You can see it's bigger because it's lower, so the electrons are farther from the nucleus. It makes sense that this one would be bigger. And that's where they get it from. It's spherical. You put the 2 together, and you can see the 1s inside the 2s. That's what the modern theory would look like. The level, now you can see, has 3 dimensions. Okay? There's a dimension in the x-plane, so sometimes you'll see it as px. You can also see it in the y-plane, so py. And you can also see it in the z-plane, which is actually going in and out of the screen. Okay? So it's 3-dimensional. In fact, there are 3 different, what we call orbitals. Therefore, the modern atomic theory, called the quantum theory, is also called the orbital theory. It's based on here. You can see there's 3 different dimensions of this P sublevel, which are called orbitals. That's the 3rd quantum number, but we're not quite ready for that yet. Keep going. You can see the complications of the D. This is the D sublevel. Notice how many different arrangements there are. This is all done mathematically, by the way. So it's all theory. There are 5 different options. One there, one there, one there, one there, one there. And it goes in all 3 dimensions again. And then you have the F sublevel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different mathematical projections for the F sublevel. And notice that this says 4F. 4 is referring to the energy level. And you don't even get to the F sublevel until you have the 4th energy level. D you wouldn't get to until you have the 3rd energy level. Okay, let's go through this again real quick. According to this, we know energy level 1 can have one sublevel called S, and that would be this one here. Energy level 2 can have 2 sublevels. You can have the S, 2S here, and also you can have the P's, which has 3 different orbitals. Energy level 3 can have 3 sublevels, S, P, and D. Okay, it'd be 3S, it'd be 3P, and also then you get to the 3D. And then energy level 4 can have up to 4 sublevels, S, P, D, and F. So it would be 4S, 4P, 4D, and 4F. Now, the sublevels exist as clouds, just as we've talked about. They are regions of high probability for finding the electron. And the number of sublevels in each energy level, as we've said, equals the quantum number. So I've gone through that, and I've given you an example in this chart. There it is again. Energy level 1, there's a 1S. Energy level 2 can have 2S and 2P. Energy level 3 can have 3S, 3P, 3D. Energy level 4, 4S, 4P, 4D, and 4F. And it does not exclude the previous ones, because these atoms down here are much bigger than this one, which would be hydrogen and helium.